Pop quiz hotshot. What have you done with your life up until this point? When I hear all these keyboard warriors and tough guys and analysts throwing stones at SoFi and talking about Anthony Noto as if he's not up to the task and that SoFi is some kind of SPAC based fraud, I say, what have you done with your life? Let me ask you, did you graduate from the top of your class in the United States Military Academy at West Point as a mechanical engineer, where you were a star linebacker on the football team, earning all American honors? Were you? Were you? Let me ask you another question. After graduating from Army Ranger School at Fort Benning, Georgia, did you serve as a communications officer with the 24th Infantry Division at Fort Stewart, Georgia? No, no, you didn't, did you? And after serving in the military, did you attend business school at the University of Chicago? Did you? No, while working at Kraft Foods as a brand manager and later receive an MBA from the Wharton School of Business? Did you? No, you didn't. Because all you do is tear people down, you throw stones, you're a flamethrower, because Anthony Noto did all that. Did I? Of course not. I am a fat, lazy, suburban fool, and I am not going to get up and do all those very difficult things. And I don't have to because I can just invest in SoFi and get all the benefits of the incredible leadership that Anthony Noto's experience, judgment, expertise, and all around amazing character provide. So go on over and take a look at this guy's bio and you tell me, is this a guy who runs scams and has no integrity, or is this a guy who has worked hard and excelled and served his country his entire life and is a good family guy and an honest guy, and he has been a straight shooter all along with us investors? He's one of the only executives in this post SPAC melee of garbage companies that has under-promised and over-delivered, and he's done that under exceptionally difficult circumstances. So once again, my hat is off to you, Anthony Noto, and the entire leadership team of SoFi Technologies Incorporated. And guys, if you hadn't guessed by now, my name is DannyDealz. Thank you for tuning in to Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more on behalf of executive producer Hurricane Lopez and supervising producer Stock Karen. We would like to thank you for tuning in today. It is Friday, May 26th. It's 5:05 p.m. out here on the West Coast. Post-market trading just wrapped up for the week. It's 8 p.m. out in NYC. Hope it is a great evening wherever you are. Want to wish everyone in the U.S. a happy long holiday 3-day weekend. Everyone else all around the world, hope you guys have a great weekend. If you're working, you're driving the economy. I know we'd all love to have the weekend off. I'm in real estate. I'm do some property management. I run numerous small businesses, and there frankly are no days off. But I do want to spend some time at the grill with my beautiful girlfriend and just relax this weekend a little bit if I can just calm down, because my motto with stocks is don't get excited. Don't get upset. Let's just keep things calm. But I want to tell you, number one, what happened today with the SoFi stock. Number two, where are things going? Number three, talk a little bit about the short interest. Number four, talk about some more bitching and moaning about analysts. And number five, take a look at a couple of articles and then just wrap things on up. Just to point out, if you look over at Yahoo Finance, it's the popular thing in the financial media. Right after earnings, everything was negative. Everything was negative. Now you're seeing a lot of positive articles kind of come to the fore. So you had that massive, massive downgrade. Um, Hit the stock once, hit the stock twice. What I said was going to happen basically is we are going to go up and break through this level at $8. I still think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think that's going to happen in the next 6 weeks. I have no way to prove that, but I just believe that this stock is absolutely primed. It has been consolidating now between the mid fours and low eights for over a year. And I believe this thing's primed to break out. They've proven the model, they've proven the growth, they've more than proven the leadership. As student loans come back online, this company is going to make a gap net profit. Institutions are going to come in and it's going to come up to more of a fair value, or at least what I see as a fair value. So, this poorly drawn chart, this is what I think is going to happen. You see, I put in the word turds here with my mouse in yellow, and this in green is what I think is going to happen. Just to zoom out briefly, taking a look at the short today, this kind of follows, guys. They had crushed the stock the previous day, so today they returned 3 million shares, borrowed 2 million net, just 1.24 million shares returned. So the short let go very slightly. Short interest to the free float is sitting at about almost 14%. And let's see where it is for the last 7 days. In the last 7 days, the short has gone down. The short interest has gone down about 8%, but the percentage of free float on loans only down 2%, still 30%. So there's some shenanigans being played with here. They cover with some long shares, so they don't always return shares when they're covering. They don't always. It doesn't work that way because a lot of the people shorting the stock also have long shares. These are people hedging, people killing options. And that's really how this thing goes. It's not always about controlling the price action, is not always about just making money from the short. They already made money shorting from the sixes down to fives, but then on days when they're re-shorting, it's more about killing options. The short controls the volume and the price action, which controls the options and kills those short-term calls every single week. Guys, going back to just this analyst, David Chiavarini with Wedbush. I strongly encourage you to read this article that came out today at Seeking Alpha by Stephen Fiorillo. Sorry if I mispronounced your name there, Stephen. But this guy, I watch him all the time online. He does interviews with the guy who I'm sorry, I forget the guy's name. He's a YouTuber, young blonde guy. He's great on SoFi Weekly, I think is the name. But he has him on. They do these like 40-minute interviews. This guy is absolutely brilliant. I mean, he's like plain spoken, straightforward, very easy to understand, but he knows his stuff. If you want an actual like, you know, somebody who actually knows what they're talking about, not just some big blowhard on YouTube, please watch these guys. They will do 40 minutes of wall to wall useful information without all the, hysterics and hand waving and all that type of thing. But he goes through, he's a SoFi bull, and he just goes through the bear case. He particularly lays into David Chiavarini, who they point out had an outperform rating on SoFi and a $20 price target at the beginning of 2022. So that's just over a year ago. After Q1, downgraded SoFi to neutral and $5 and doubled down the same week and downgraded to 250. Blah, 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 blah. Mr. Chiavarini's down. And basically this killed the stock. That's what they're saying. Amplified the bear case. He talked about the loans. He talked about having to change their accounting structure. Anthony Noto dismantles the bear case at the JP Morgan Fireside Chat. And again, I strongly encourage you to take a listen to that webcast. You can find it over the investor section at SoFi.com. And just listen, it's with the guy at JP Morgan. He's a SoFi member, but he's also a SoFi bear. It was moderated by Reginald Smith at JP Morgan. And Noto just absolutely knocks it out of the park. He talks about how they underwrite their loans. He talks about, we're not going to have a problem with bad loans where our models are showing 3%, but we already wrote in 4.5%. It's like on any personal loan, once it's 10 days late, we write it down 35% of the value. Once it hits 30 days late, we write it down another 35%. By the time it reaches 4 months delinquent, it is written off 100%. So you're not going to see those bad loans sort of coming and biting you and surprising you quarters and quarters later. They're writing them off very, very quickly. So even within just over 1/4's time, any bad loan will actually be 100% written off, and 70% will be written off for any loan that's 30 days late. SoFi does not underwrite any loans under 680 FICO scores, but if someone does meet their income to debt model, they will lay those loans off to one of their partners so they can monetize a portion of the 70% of people that they exclude who apply for their personal loans. That's right. SoFi rejects 70% of the applicants. And it's not just that a 680 credit score gets you in. Oh no, contraire, mon frere. Their average is a 747, and I think it's almost $170,000 of income. So everybody in the media is talking about how there's so much demand for upstarts loans, and those are inferior borrowers in every single way. I keep saying this. Those people live in mobile homes with leaky roofs, and they buy Teslas and Peloton bikes that they can't afford on credit. Those loans will go bad, and you will rue the day you bought those loans, Castle. You should have come to Anthony Noto. You should get down on your knees and you should beg him. You should say, "Dear Mr. Noto, can we please buy some of these top quality, top shelf A+ loans you are holding on your books?" And Noto says, "No, you cannot, because my job is to maximize return on capital for my shareholders, and we are getting a 6% return on capital holding these loans for the time being, where we would get a 4% return on capital if we sold them." Now, some of the D-bags would interpret that to mean we can't sell the loans. But notice that's not what he said over and over. There's plenty of demand for the loans. There has to be, because if those other loans have demand, these SoFi loans are higher quality. They're going to be more stable. They're going to be more predictable. And moreover, they're going to make more money for whoever buys them. But SoFi doesn't want to sell them right now because they're making more money holding them themselves. And that's the bottom line. He's explained this now, I think, 3 times. To Kramer. I mean, Kramer was literally bawling, almost, not literally. He was sort of fawning over Noto and how much integrity he has and how long they've known each other. And again, Kramer will turn around and shove a back in his knife as soon as it makes for good ratings. And that's what the narrative calls for. But, that's just Kramer being Kramer. But guys, I want to talk, I don't want to pick on this David guy from Wedbush and say, just this pale, useless turd is not fit to even be mentioned in the same breath with our CEO, Anthony Noto, who, not only served his country, but serves us and has served us through some very, very turbulent times and served us very, very well. But remember, this guy's downgrade drove the entire media narrative twice. Twice. This guy may as well have led the short attack. Like, he may as well have been out front carrying the flag for the short sellers. You notice what you don't hear about is, though this guy's one of the worst analysts, as according to tip ranks, John Heck from Jefferies, who's a 5-star analyst across the board, just yesterday reiterated his buy rating and an $8 price target for SoFi. 10 days ago, Piper Sandler, Kevin Barker, also a straight 5-star analyst, one of the best on tip ranks, reiterated a buy rating and a 650 price target. Then you have Wedbush, David Chiaverini at 250. And then you have touchdown Danny Dolev, and I encourage you to watch his interview on CNBC where he absolutely dismantles David Chiaverini as a fraud and a phony who, is just basically lying. Like, he has a buy and a $9 rating. You're entitled to your own opinion. You are not entitled to your own facts. And that's what I encourage you to go over to Seeking Alpha, read the article by Stephen Fiorillo. I don't know why I have such time saying those 2L. They don't roll off my tongue. But he just dismantles this guy. He's like, listen, it's not even that I disagree with his conclusions. It's like this guy's too intellectually lazy and stupid to actually understand the company and what's going on over here. But guys, I'm not one to get excited. I don't want to just run off at the mouth and, go into hysterics and all that. We should be calm when we discuss our stocks. We should be rational, cold, and calculating. We shouldn't demonize and vilify these horrible, horrible analysts who, serve short sellers. And again, I can't prove that there's illegality, that there's coordination. But when you take a guy who doesn't even cover fintech and he had a $20 price target on the stock just over a year ago and a buy. And he's consistently been a buy at $8. And then SoFi comes out and he makes up the rationale that nobody wants their loans and that they're going to have to change their accounting system. You can't, as touchdown Danny Dolev said, you're not even allowed to do that. Both accounting methods are valid. The way they're marking their loans, they're remarked every quarter and they take into account a whole host of things, and they're not marked by SoFi themselves. Okay? They're marked by a third party. Listen to Noto. Listen to what the guy has actually said, and then look at his track record of under promising and over delivering. And then look at the promises he makes. Like, this is legit. SoFi is a legitimate company. They're just about to turn the corner. They're just about to make a profit. Institutions will come into the stock at that point. We've been through a lot of the hard part. Is the stock going to run right back through $25 where it was in the SPAC mania, irrational days of free COVID money, nobody working, and everybody off in La La Land? No, probably not. But I think it's sure as hell going to break back through $8. And I think a $2.50 price target, right when this company is going to make a profit. They're growing their deposits. They're growing every which way but loose. In any case, guys, sorry for the long rant. As you know, I'm not one to get excited, and I'm not one to go on and on and on, but, I get a little bit upset when people trash Noto and they trash the SoFi stock, and senators are doing, oh, it's an evil company. It's an evil company. Well, I guess every company that is self-interested and wants to make a profit for its shareholders and for its stakeholders is evil, because, that's SoFi's job, and SoFi's not an evil company. SoFi probably is more fair with consumers than almost any other financial institution in the country. When they're getting more in interest, they give their clients more in interest. They give you no fees. They give you the best possible deal. But in order to do that, they have to be very selective who they loan to. And that's just the way it is. It's a good, prudent company with great management. Student loans are going to come back. We should hear from the Supreme Court in the next 30 days or so. SoFi continues to exceed expectations. SoFi had another beat, another raise, and in fact, the media doesn't report. You notice that. The media just does not report on Jeffrey's buy rating, an $8 buy rating. The media does not report Piper Sandler with a 650 buy. The media reported a little bit on Dan Dolev because it was good sensational TV when he just came out and trashed this this guy. He just looks terrible. He looks like that guy I can't remember the movie, but he looks like some total D-bag from a movie that I know. It's just this is all making me too angry, guys. I want you to go out. I want you to enjoy your weekend. I want you to not think about your stocks, and certainly don't watch YouTube and listen to a bunch of angry people rant and rave about nothing in particular. The stock is SoFi. The ticker symbol is SOFI. I am Stock Karen, and I have a complaint. SoFi actually went up. Wait, that's not a complaint. SoFi actually went up today. We're up 20 cents or 3.4%. We're flat after hours on 26 million shares traded. Guys, I expect the run to continue. I expect a breakthrough on the debt ceiling. I don't think we're going to default on our debt. That would be absolutely financial suicide. And to be honest with you, let's be honest here. Republicans are not going to destroy the portfolios of the very wealthy that fund their campaigns and their lifestyles. It's just not going to happen. Both sides have to play to the media. Both sides have to sensationalize the whole thing. And at the end of the day, I think there is going to be a deal. Big sigh of relief, and markets going up, 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 and that would include SoFi, ticker symbol SOFI. You guys have a great weekend. Um, Hope you have a good holiday weekend. Again, if you're in the United States, remember, some things are much more important than stocks, and a lot of people sacrifice. So all these companies could exist, and we could be here, and we could be free. So you guys have a safe, sane weekend out there, and we will talk again at you real soon.